We will wait for another 2 minutes. Because only two of you have joined. Just 2 minutes. Should we start?
Yes, madam. Participants 6 are there.
6 are there. एक minute, huh?
So this topic is number 3, madam. Topic basics of energy.
Wait. Basics. Is it basics of energy? Let me see it once. Okay, maybe afternoon the other topic is there. Let me just confirm. Actually, my laptop got switched off. See, sometimes some adjustment might be there between two faculties, and the topic what is mentioned in your timetable might get changed. Okay, if it is 3, please share your screen and the book. We'll start with 3, not an issue. The faculty mentioned was me only. That's what I saw in the morning.
No
was
idea, madam. Where it is, madam, actually. That is not. No, it is shared in the group, madam.
Okay. What we will do? What we will do? We will
I
go.
think
And we will go to energy
So-
efficiency and climate change, chapter number 10, book number 1.
Chapter number 10.
Book number 1. There is no dependency on these chapters on each other. So these are independent ones. We can start with any. Anyone sharing? Please share. Oh, you're not able to share the screen? My laptop is not getting started. If somebody can share the screen. Can you share the screen? I'm audible?
Yes, madam. But I don't
Please.
have this soft copy, madam. I have only hard copy book is there with me.
Okay.
Others, I think.
Let me just try something. Right.
Amraj also still there. Deshpande will be doing the Shirang Deshpande.
No, I am not having the soft copy also.
Wait. Give me 2 minutes. I will try other line.
Morning it is shared now, madam. First lecture,
Somebody has shared.
We have shared, madam. Morning, maybe.
I don't know who shared, but it was shared actually.
By
Give me 2 minutes.
I think all the people is having a book, I think, madam. You can just read your.
No, my laptop is not getting started. I'm not having the copy in front of me. Morning I had mobile. Yes, mobile I've logged in, but I can't access copy and then see the Zoom. Give me just wait. I'll sort this out. I'm trying other laptop. एक minute. Okay. Meanwhile, please tell me what are the impacts of on climate.
First is energy and environment.
Yes. What is the impact on environment?
Sure. Carbon dioxide, this dust, etc., sulfur oxides, nitrogen oxide, and hydrocarbons. And carbon monoxides are the principal emissions.
Are getting emitted. Okay.
These are the principal emissions which impact our environment.
Okay. And
you want me to read the book, madam?
are these the only impacts?
Oh, yes, sir. The principal emissions which impact on the environment are carbon dioxide, particulate matter, that is dust, sulfur oxide, nitrogen oxide, hydrocarbons, and carbon monoxide.
The main is greenhouse gas emission impacting, resulting in global warming and finally in climate change.
Okay. Then what else?
Both SOx and NOx, that is sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide, emissions have been
Acid rain?
identified as a major air
Ac-
pollutants.
Will it cause acid rains?
Yes, SOx and NOx will cause acid rains.
It will also cause acid rains. Then global warming temperature will lead to what? It will lead to
Melting
floods,
of glaciers.
melting of ice, melting, yes, melting of glaciers.
Okay,
And
so as some of the key environmental issues of global significance are acid rain, ozone layer depletion, global warming and climate change, and loss of biodiversity.
loss of biodiversity, yes.
These are the key environmental issues of global significance.
Yes, yes, yes. So
Then comes,
you have your books open in front of you,
yes,
all of you.
yes.
I also located my book.
Then acid rain. You can just read the book and then explain, madam. Acid rain.
Yes, 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 yes. So see, mainly the impacts what this energy usage on environment is. One is if we are mining, that mines also changes the geological balance. Then there will be empty space available there. Water will get
Polluted.
yes. So the environment get polluted. Whatever water will be deposited in that open mines. So that will get deposited. It will contaminate the groundwater. Acid rain concept is not new to us. If you can give me example of acid rain for India, where we have faced this issue with relation to acid rain.
Acid rain.
In Bhopal,
No, Bhopal. Okay, Bhopal acid rain. Yes, and quickly. If we have seen the impact of acid rain on Taj Mahal. Okay, so in Agra and nearby areas, Kanpur and that belt, they have many chemical and leather factories. So lots of emissions as far as sulfur and other pollutants are concerned. And they have faced the challenge of this acid rain. Because of this acid rain, the color of Taj Mahal is getting changed. And that is causing effects on Taj Mahal, yes. And that was the reason that many factories, they got mandate for installing air pollution control equipment there. Okay. So acid rain, that is the biggest example in India as far as acid rain is concerned. Then the next is how this acid rains forms is that, like I said, the dew point temperature of acid forms at the end of the chimney. So these are the resources. Flue gases are the resources where the emission of sulfur and nitrogen, NOx, SOx and NOx is there. So from factories, SOx and NOx is emitted when it comes in contact with water vapors and it gets condensed. It comes down as a precipitation in the form of water acid, and that will be poured on the area wherever this rain happens. It will be happening maybe on lakes, or it will do acidification of the lakes, streams, direct indirect effects on the metal, then killing the wildlife, decay of the buildings materials, paints, statues and sculptures. Here the statues and sculptures are added mainly as it has hampered Taj Mahal.
How can we identify, madam, it is acid rain or normal rain?
How can we, so if the rain falls on our skin and our skin is getting irritation, so it is the indication of acid rain.
The effects of acid rain.
Then this, Hiroshima and Nagasaki were bombed, and then whatever rain they had faced, with that rain also they found many skin related issues, many problems that has happened. Not exactly it was acid rain, but it had many other skin related issues. Okay.
No, the effects of acid rain.
Yes, now you can hear me. Am I audible?
Oh, yes, madam. Yes, madam. Next is what are the effects of acid rain?
Am I audible?
Yes, madam, audible.
Am I audible?
Yes, madam.
You are audible.
You can hear
Now
me?
it is.
Yes, ma'am, you
Yeah,
are
yeah.
audible.
Now some staring yes comes.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, madam. Yes, madam. We are hearing you.
Okay, I'm audible.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I will share my screen so I can. I've
Acha, you
started
can
my
share.
other laptop. So, just confirm whether my screen is visible.
Visible,
And what do
madam.
you see? So do you see book?
Acid rain. Book we see 10.4.
Do
Ozone
you
layer
see my
depletion.
book?
Yes, madam.
Do you see my book?
Ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Please reply in chat at least.
I think she
Okay,
cannot
yeah,
hear us.
thank you very much. So second is ozone layer depletion. See, CFC is chlorofluorocarbon. So ozone is generally formed with three O3. Ozone is O3. Okay. So ozone layer is present in stratosphere, which extends from 10 to 15 kilometer, 10 to 50 kilometer. And what ozone layer does is it absorbs ultraviolet rays, which are coming from solar rays. So sun rays mainly consist of UV, infrared, and visible light. So UV is very harmful. It's around 2 to 3% of the whole total number of solar rays we receive. So those are absorbed by ozone layer. Then infrared contributes to the heat energy and visible rays, because of which we can see. And visible rays plays a major role in solar photovoltaic. Okay, so this UVA, UVB, UVC, there are different types of UV rays. UV rays are, they kills germs, but they are also affecting our living beings. So UV rays will cause cancer, skin irritation, skin related issues, which are being already absorbed by ozone layer. But ozone layer gets hampered due to chemical reaction with chlorine. So chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs. So ozone, how it is formed? It is three oxygen particles coming together forms ozone. Ozone layer, if it is present at ground level, it is not good for human beings. But ozone layer in stratosphere is really helpful for all living beings, and it keeps the equilibrium. So if you'll see this diagram, how the ozone layer is formed and how it is getting disrupted. So this is normal ozone layer. O2 coming together forms O3, and O3 will form O2, it will form again oxygen. So it is in equilibrium. And how it is getting depleted is CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons. So this chlorine mainly is getting attached to this oxygen, and it is forming ClO. So chlorine monoxide. So it is detaching O3 and it is making it to O2. Again, it further breaks down. When we found this mainly in one of the regions in globally, they found that there is a ozone layer that has got depleted, and the particular area people were facing largely with skin problems, skin cancer, skin irritation, skin related issues. And then they found that something that is getting hampered, and then they found that this is ozone layer which is getting depleted, and due to which UV rays are reaching to the earth's surface. A single CFC molecule, just remember this, a single CFC molecule can destroy 1 lakh ozone molecules. Where we use CFCs?
AC,
Where we use CFCs?
Refrigeration.
air conditioner. Earlier.
Refrigerants or any chemical processes. Okay, so these chemical processes will liberate CFCs. And then next, here the chemistry of ozone depletion process is given. So UV radiation, that is heating, this whole process that is given, how chlorine atom is breaking this O3 layer, okay, and also UV rays are breaking this O3. So in all, this O3 is getting converted into ClO and O2, which is allowing this UV rays to come to the Earth's surface. As more and more CFCs will be leaked, I would say. It's not nowadays. Now we have to reduce CFCs. CFCs are few of the CFCs are banned also. Alternative refrigerants are also in use. So whatever processes are still using CFCs, if something is leaked in the atmosphere, it is causing harm to the whole environment. What are the effects? Effects are on human and animal health. Increased penetration of UVB is likely to have high impact on health, potential risk of eye disease, skin cancer, infectious diseases. In generally, polar region, you will find these issues are there. Effects on terrestrial plants. So biodiversity is getting hampered, secondary metabolism, and it is also changing there you will find the changes in plant forms. Effects on aquatic ecosystem, effects on biogeochemical cycles. Every living being. So here they have segregated human beings, then terrestrial, aquatic, biogeochemical cycle, but all are living beings. So everything is getting hampered due to higher penetration of ultraviolet rays coming on the surface of the earth. Effects on air quality, so reduction in stratospheric ozone and increased penetration of UVB will result in high photodissociation rates of key traces gases that control the chemical reactivity of the troposphere. Okay, now in water purifier we have UV, RO. You've heard of this UV, right?
Yes, definitely.
You've heard of this UV in water
Yes,
purifier?
madam.
There
Water
we
purifier,
require UV. Why? Because it kills germs.
killing bacteria. Okay.
So anything that is living in water will be killed. Okay, to kill the bacteria. Yes, right. So there we require UV, but in moderate form only. What amount we receive from solar rays and what amount we create using electricity is different. Ozone depletion. You will be asked a 5 marks short answer question on ozone depletion. So there, how ozone layer is formed, where do we find ozone layer, how ozone layer is getting depleted due to CFCs, and what is its use, and what will be the effect if ozone layer is getting depleted. So everything will be your answer. Ozone depletion countermeasures. So what countermeasures were taken? In Montreal Protocol in 1974, they have decided to phase out ozone depletion chemicals, and the measures were tax imposed on use of ozone depleting substances, use ozone friendly substitutes, HCFCs and HFCs. So chlorofluorocarbon is now taken over by hydrochlorofluorocarbon and hydrofluorocarbon. Okay, hydrofluorocarbon, yes. So chlorine is, you know, reduced as far as possible. Recycle of CFCs and halogens. So whatever already CFCs are there, it has to be recycled, not to let it to atmosphere. So it should not go in the atmosphere. Then global warming. Every gas will remain in the atmosphere for particular time of for particular years or for particular time. And during that time, what is it contributing towards heat increase within on the in the Earth's atmosphere is its global warming potential. Okay, so what is global warming is only the Earth, only this planet is having atmosphere, and due to atmosphere, whatever sun rays are coming inside, some of the sun rays are reflected back, some of the sun rays are absorbed by oceans, by nature, by trees, and some of them is, you know, some of them is not able to escape the atmosphere. It remains inside, so that heat within the atmosphere is getting increased every time sun rays are coming inside the atmosphere, and it is warming the, it is keeping earth warm. Average earth's temperature is, you know what is average earth's atmosphere temperature? Anyone, any wild guess?
15 degrees.
It's in the range of 15. So worldwide, if we average out the temperatures, so it's 15 degrees centigrade. And if we did not have the atmosphere, there is no living being or there is nothing on the earth. Okay, because our atmosphere is there, we have some temperature. Why the global warming term? See, you must have seen this. Okay, greenhouse gas, we will come to it later. But every year, the global temperature is getting increased by some degrees, and if the temperature reaches up to certain level, the glaciers will melt, and already we know that more than 70% is hydrous, like we have water, and only 30% is land. So the whole land might undergo the water. That is the disaster that might happen if the global warming temperature, if the global warming happens the same rate it was there. So Earth's atmosphere, it consists of oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide, and part of R1. Water vapor is also there, but that is not called. So we don't consider that for global warming. Now we come to greenhouse gas effect. You've seen the polyhouses, greenhouses. Why we are calling this as a greenhouse gas effect is that the sun rays that comes inside the Earth's atmosphere, rays with higher temperature is having lower wavelength, so it easily penetrates the Earth's surface. Yes, so it easily, these sun rays you can see, it easily penetrates the Earth's surface. Some of them is re-radiated and some of them is absorbed. But when the sun heat is getting absorbed and sun rays are emitted back, the wavelength increases, and that wavelength, that rays are not able to escape the atmosphere, so that heat remains within the atmosphere, and this is what is greenhouse gas effect. So in greenhouse, the temperature is maintained higher than outside temperature. Okay, in the polyhouses or greenhouse. So that is what is greenhouse effect. Solar rays with higher temperature is having lower wavelength. Short wavelength can penetrate, but when the wavelength increases and the temperature reduces, it is not able to escape. That is causing greenhouse gas effect. Why it is so? So the few gases such as, so there are few greenhouse gases: SOx, NOx, methane, carbon dioxide, SF6, NH3. So these are gases which are termed as greenhouse gases. So the layer of these gases is getting increased year on year, which is causing this greenhouse gas effect. Okay. Any doubt, any question on this greenhouse gas? Yes, it is
Okay,
mentioned
madam.
here. It is 15 degrees centigrade. Any questions you have? Here it is mentioned, see, the Earth's atmosphere allows short-wave solar radiation from sun to pass relatively unimpeded. But the long wave, why it is becoming long is heat is taken out, so the wavelength increases. So long wavelength infrared radiation emitted from the Earth's surface is partially trapped and re-emitted downwards by greenhouse gases. So these are the gases which are not really, they are making difficult for this long wavelength to escape escape through the atmosphere. And where are these are inner part of the atmosphere, and that is what is, in a way it is helpful, but as it is increasing, these greenhouse gases are increasing, the temperature is increasing rapidly, which we have to control. Then enhanced greenhouse gas effect. The natural greenhouse effect is enhanced. We require greenhouse gas effect. But now it is enhanced because of the higher amount of carbon dioxide, higher amount of CFCs, higher amount of all these greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. And that is why, because everybody is utilizing energy and everybody is emitting. All the countries are emitting. So all the water vapor is also considered as greenhouse gas. Its amount in the atmosphere is not changing directly because of the human activities. Okay, so when we are counting greenhouse gases, there are 7 actually now. Your I don't think so. They have considered 7. Whatever they have considered, we will just concentrate on those. So here the greenhouses are carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, chlorofluorocarbon. Sorry, greenhouse gas effect. So these are causing greenhouse gas effects. So there they have mentioned the number of greenhouse gases. Ozone is not considered as greenhouse gas. Okay. So here you will find this chart. It shows whatever temperature abnormality. So you will find from the industrialization around 1910, the industrialization started in a real sense. So here this temperature has started increasing and the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere has started increasing. So this is CO2 and here it is temperature. So the temperature has started increasing. Global temperature is increasing. Yes, the number of greenhouse gases, the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is most abundant and important greenhouse gas because it is abundant in the atmosphere and all the human activities, consumption of energy, combustion of these fuels are going to contribute towards CO2. And how long it will last? So it will last for 100 years. In man-made carbon dioxide emissions. Earlier also CO2 was there, but now we are increasing CO2. How that fossil fuel combustion? Then among the industrial processes, cement is the major contributor of CO2 as emissions from both combustion and calcination of limestone is happening. You must have heard of CCUS. Have anybody heard of CCUS? Carbon capture
Yeah,
and utilization and storage.
storage.
So to avoid this greenhouse gas effect, people are also thinking of capturing carbon. There are few plants. There are already few plants in the world, and even India is working on it for CCUS, carbon capture. So they will capture the carbon. So that is catalytic converter. They will use chemical process at the end of the chimney. They will pass that flue gas through that converter chemical process and take out carbon, and that carbon will be captured and it will be put in the under the earth, or they will form different storage areas. It is hard to even store, but people are working on CCUS, carbon capture and storage, or carbon capture and utilization, CCU or CCUS. Then what is carbon sequestration? Sequestration is removing the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. The main sink will be large oceans, they are also sink to the carbon dioxide, and trees. So trees will absorb carbon dioxide. So forestation, more forestation will happen, more trees will be planted, will reduce the carbon in the atmosphere. But that should be aggressively done as the industrialization is getting faster. Methane. So methane, where do we get methane? What is the source of methane? Wetlands. Main natural source of methane is from wetlands. So methane is also created when organic matter or food vegetable decompose without presence of oxygen. So it's anaerobic thing. If you will take a big bag, polythene bag, and you will put all the vegetable and vegetable waste and just seal the bag, after 10 days, 20 days, you will find the bag is, you know, blown. So the gas gets generated. So that gas which is getting generated is methane. And that is the reason there are, you know, even due to sewage in sewage treatment plant STPs or underground, the sewage lines are there. So methane gas gets generated and liberated there. If people are working on underground tanks and all, people, there was a news that few laborers they died while they were working in sewage tanks. Why? Because the methane gas is getting generated. Methane is CH4. There is absence of oxygen. So anthropogenic sources include leakage during coal mining, leakage from natural gas pipelines and petroleum wells. It exists there, but when we are increasing the extraction, when the production is increased, so of course the methane gas will be liberated. Even the landfilling, so whatever waste is getting, they're going for landfilling, there you will find lot and lot of methane getting generated. Okay. Nitrous nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is mainly due to the combustion. So combustion, if the temperature of combustion is more than 1200 degrees centigrade, this nitrous gas, NOx gets formed into, okay, and that will last in atmosphere for 120 years. Ozone. So ozone, level ozone is greenhouse gas. That is what I said. If it is in the atmosphere, that that will not be called as GHG, but if it is at the ground level, it is called greenhouse gas. It can absorb infrared radiation and contribute to warming. Ground level ozone forms from uh, VOCs. Where do we get VOCs from? Where do we get VOCs from? Volatile organic compounds, uh, turpentine and all, these chemicals which gets evaporated. Even so uh, you know that nail paints we use or paints we have, so after painting is done we get some smell. So what is it? It's VOCs. So volatile organic compounds that gets evaporated immediately, that gets vaporized and it's around you, so that is VOCs. Even in coal or any other types of coal, there are few percentage of VOCs, but that VOCs is not good. Floor cleaner, or anywhere you have this perfume, deos, everywhere VOCs are there, and which is immediately getting evaporated. There you get the smell. So what good smell we get, that is from the VOCs. Actually, that is not good for health. So many people they have allergies to this VOCs too. So that is VOC, volatile organic compounds, and nitrous oxide in the presence of heat and sun ultraviolet radiation forms ground level ozone. CFCs, chlorofluorocarbon. So these are man-made chemicals which vaporize just below room temperature and are non-toxic and non-flammable. CFCs contain chlorine atoms that can be used in industry as refrigerant, cleaning solvents, and manufacturing of insulation and propellants in spray cans. Okay, these CFCs are now getting replaced by hydrochlorofluorocarbons or hydrofluorocarbons, which HCFCs and HFCs are less destructive to ozone than CFCs. That is, still they are still considered as greenhouse gases. Okay. What is the leakage source is when they are been filled. You might have come across that refrigerant. You fill the gas in AC in your cars or in refrigerator. So after a few years, the effect has gone. Why? Because the gas has been leaked to the atmosphere. So that is the main leakage sources. Perfluorocarbon is also one of the important PFCs we call it. Perfluorocarbon. So this is used in primary aluminum production and semiconductor manufacturing. So it's not consumed or emitted in domestic sector. That is perfluorocarbon, and again, this is man-made. Sulfur hexafluoride, yes, SF6. SF6 is the most potent gas, and the highest global warming potential is of sulfur hexafluoride. Where SF6 is used? Have anybody come across SF6?
Gas,
Yeah,
HT,
electrical industries,
gas.
circuit breakers and power distribution line.
Anyway, actually, it's used in circuit breakers, in transformers, or electric power transmission equipment. So here it is mentioned. It is in electric power transmission equipments. SF6 are used. Now we come to global warming potential. So what do you mean by global warming potential? How long it will remain in the Earth's atmosphere before it has been absorbed. Okay, and everything is compared with reference to carbon dioxide. So here it is increasing concentration of atmospheric greenhouse gases. Let's see this. We will first concentrate on this. Take a moment to go through all these numbers.
These value are also changing, na? Maybe changing every year.
What do you understand from this? What do you understand from this?
Greenhouse.
See, if carbon dioxide is contributing to, so its global warming potential is 1. The global warming potential of sulfur hexafluoride is 22,000, highest amongst those. And how long it will remain in the atmosphere is 3,200 years before it is completely getting absorbed. Global warming potential of CFC. See, there are two terms: ozone depletion potential and global warming potential. How it is harmful, how much it is harmful to ozone layer is something different, and how much it is contributing towards global warming, it is different. Okay, these are two separate terms. So here they've given the data for global greenhouse gas emission. Of course, this data has completely changed now.
Madam, can we explain the
Which sector
table which is the
contributes most
more
to this greenhouse gases is the industry sector and also agricultural sector. Okay, as far as CH4 and N2O are concerned, it is agricultural sector and domestic livestock and rice cultivation and industrial process. which are not related to energy, producing mainly fluorinated gases and N2. Within energy sector, CO2 is the main gas that is getting liberated to atmosphere. Okay. You can see this is just the picture where we get CO2, humanity's CO2 coming from fossil fuels and cement industry, land use change. If someone is really interested, or somebody of you are working in GHG sector as well, they will find this, how this GHG emission removal is done, or how the GHG verification is done. And if you are not working in that sector too, I would say that please, get very well conversant with ISO 14064. That is GHG verification standard. It's a guidance standard, and you will find lots of relevant terminologies and all, and which will be mandatory to be used, and it will be used by all this industrial sector from 2026. So it's a good time for you to also learn GHG verification along with this energy, because it goes hand in hand. These are very interesting numbers. See, India's greenhouse gas emission is almost 7% of the global, and it is third largest contributor in terms of CO2 emission. First is USA, then China, then India. Although India emitted 2.5 gigatons of carbon dioxide in 2013, as we are, as per our population goes, it is 1.6 tons per annum per capita emission. But that should not make us complacent, because in absolute terms we are emitting lots of greenhouse gases and also using lots of energy. For me, lots of word can be okay, but for you, you have to quantify it, whatever is mentioned in the question or whatever is asked to compute or calculate. Okay, global warming and climate change impacts. Impacts we already know, but we'll just go through, because you might find this in long short answer, 5 marks. It will be asked to give what are the climate change, global warming and climate change impacts. So as we have already seen, increasing ocean temperature and rising sea levels. Because still we have water, water is there in the ice form. And if these glaciers they melt, it will increase the sea level. Increase in sea level of 10 to 20 centimeter, that is predicted for 2030, and for 21st 2100 21st 22nd century, I would say, it will be, if the rise is 1 meter, there will be flood, and many of the cities which are close by to the sea will sink in water. Low-lying countries such as Bangladesh, Netherlands may lose land. Since half of the world's population live near the coastal zones, their vulnerability to rising sea levels are very high. Have you heard of any country or getting largely affected? No. Okay. Before that, I see a question in chat box. GWP values change periodically. Global warming potential values are being calculated by some labs or researchers. So if the researcher, if they come across a new method of calculating this, then only it might get changed, but otherwise it more or less remains constant, GWP. Okay. And where you will find it is in IPCC, or there are few websites, I'll tell you where to find these GWP values. DEFRA is there, IPCC is there. So they periodically publish the data on global warming potential, ozone depletion, and emission factor. These are the terms that will be published in their reports. And when we calculate greenhouse gas emission for any industry or for any production or product, then we have to use the latest numbers for all these GWP or emission factors. But not every year, like year on year, the GWP, there is a marginal change. So it's not, sorry, there is a big change. No, it's not happening. Will be some marginal change based on new researches or new research method they have used. Okay, I was asking you about any country that is getting affected due to this melting of ice.
Greenland, maybe.
Anyone? You know, due to climate change, there are few countries like Maldives is getting badly affected. Sinking nation, that is Tuvalu. Tuvalu is area. Kiribati is also. These are islands that are sinking, that are literally sinking due to this rising sea levels. Okay, so um, it's not myth. Actually, it is happening. Few countries are badly affected. As we are bound inland, we are not that much getting affected due to this rising sea levels. But yes, there are islands which are already sinking due to sea rise, okay, sea level rise. Snow and ice melting, it is already melting worldwide. It's not just India or it's not just any other country. It's happening worldwide. West Antarctica, Greenland, Arctic Sea, polar region mainly is having ice, so that is getting melted. And over next over past 150 years, majority of mountain glaciers monitored have been shrinking. The glaciers are lower latitudes are now disappearing, and scientists predict that the majority of glaciers will be gone by 21st hundred century. Okay. Even monitoring of Himalayan glaciers indicate the recession of some glaciers has occurred in some regions, though not consistently across entire mountain chain. See, this is all based on the studies for over the period of times. People are trying to conclude it. Sundarban in India is getting affected due to global warming. This is what you meant to say, Mr. Ajay? Yes, okay. Thank you. Altered rainfall patterns. We all have witnessed this altered rainfall patterns. So this is not new. We have seen before 25 years we could predict, okay, these are the rainy months. Now we have seen this year the rain started from May, from the month of May. So we did not witness any May heat. And last year too, we saw rain in December as well. November, December, anytime the rain is coming. So extreme weather events are happening. Altered rainfall patterns are there. More severe heat waves are coming. We have never witnessed temperature more than 37 in Pune. So now we are seeing the temperature going rising up to 43 degrees as well, 43, 44. So the temperature also getting increased. We never required ACs in Pune, but now the demand of AC has gone high, and as higher the number of ACs are being used, it will again contribute to global warming. higher electricity usage. And where is the sink for this heat? This heat is, see, it will cool the area which is there inside the flat or office area. But that heat which is extracted from the inner side will find sink in atmosphere. In a way, we are cooling inside and we are heating the outside. So there is, it is getting balanced, but as the electricity is getting used, it will contribute to global warming. Loss of biodiversity. Many species gone extinct. Many species are finding very stressful situations. They are not able to live. Forests are getting affected, wetlands, rangelands, everything is getting affected, and there is a loss of biodiversity as far as aquatic life is concerned, as far as the land ecosystem is concerned. Everywhere, every species are getting hampered due to global warming. Increased diseases. So you've seen that existing hot regions, with hot regions or warm regions, humid regions, a number of bacterial growth increases. In indigenous diseases, organisms previously killed by winter cold will be better able to survive with milder winters. Okay, dwindling fresh water supply. Though 70% of the earth is filled with water, but drinkable water is very less. And as higher sea level, that means the available this is salty water, so drinkable water will get reduced. The normal water streams will get mixed with this salty water. Higher ocean levels already are contaminating the underground water sources in many parts of the world. One third of the world's population is now subject to water scarcity, food shortages. So everything, hunger and food shortages are already being witnessed in African regions. So that will happen everywhere. Are the effects. So to avoid this effect, international agreements. There are international bodies. Even India is party to it. So 160 countries coming together in United Nations Conference on Environmental Development held in Rio de Janeiro in 1992 that came into force has come up with few agenda. So it has come up with the agenda to stabilize the climate change and to maintain the effect ill effect to some extent. You know, so this convention agreed and they have recognized that yes, global warming is happening and they have agreed on mitigating the effect of climate change. What was the outcome? So there were long-term objectives that were being taken, which all the countries agreed to work on. So there was something called CDM. Have you heard of CDM?
Development
No.
mechanism, CDM.
Yes, it is Green Development Mechanism, but what was under that? So countries were encouraged to reduce their emission and also contribute towards or maintain the level of emission what was there pre-industrialization era. Okay, how will that happen? Because Europe, US, these developed nations, we have seen that they require that energy to maintain their lifestyle. So they are not ready to reduce the energy consumption there. What they will do, they will
They
continue using that much energy, but they will fund. Yes, Mr. Ajit, you want to say something?
so
Okay.
they will
So they will,
undertake
I'm not able
sponsor
to hear you
projects.
though.
Now audible or not? Hello.
So there was good funding available for those countries who are working on greenhouse gas emission reduction or reducing emission, those projects which will use biomass. So there was good funding, and then the developed countries will claim that they have reduce the greenhouse gases by putting or by funding those plants in developing countries. The International Panel on Climate Change, it is intergovernmental panel which was formed in 1988. So before this UNFCCC or this meeting in Rio de Janeiro, 1992. Okay. So they've come together and they've come up with the findings. Scientists, they have concluded that 1995 report that was observed increased global change. So everybody is saying that yes, we have to agree to it that there is a increased global warming, increased temperature, and we have to take efforts to reduce the effect. So, firstly, they've summarized their conclusions that atmospheric GHG will continue to increase because of the human activities. Fraction of warming due to carbon dioxide exceeds 50%. Decrease of about 10% of snow cover, that is already happened. Reductions in the year's duration of lake and river ice cover, that is reduced, increased heat content in the world's ocean, then between zero point 0.1 to zero point 0.2 meters rise in global average sea levels that has occurred. Okay, so these were the finding of this panel, and that was, yes, it was alarming. Have you heard of COP?
Yes, madam.
Yes, Mr. Suresh.
Yeah, I
Actually, I'm
heard
not
it.
able to hear anyone's voice.
Yeah. Actually, we are talking, but you are not able to
Yes, you've
listen.
heard of COP. So recently, the COP that has happened was in Baku, Azerbaijan. That was COP 29. Prerna arranged a special lecture by Mr. Hemanandan Pawar when he attended this Baku. He was also representing one of the country. He was representing GCC, Global Climate Change. That is their company's name. So he was representing the country. This year also there will be COP 30, and we will have his lecture in the month of January. That is what he has promised to Prerna. Okay, so the COP is supreme body of the convention. The parties to United Nations Framework Convention of Climate Change, UNFCCC, meet annually and in the form of COP. What is their task? They are discussing whatever measures are sufficient. Are we going in a right track? What different measures to be taken going forward? So they have started. So COP is the COP 3, which resulted in Kyoto Protocol was 1997. So COP has started from 1994, and there they finalized that these six are the greenhouse gases, major greenhouse gases. If you will talk about 2025, we have seven greenhouse gases. So NF3 was not part of the six. NF3 got added last year. For this exam, we will have only six greenhouse gases. What is this Kyoto Protocol? Is the international agreement linked to UNFCCC, and the major features are that 30, that is mainly for 37 industrialized countries and European community. You know, in 1880, London, UK, they had faced this issue of smoke and bad atmosphere. They were barely able to see each other due to the smoke. They've utilized coal. And that was the era. These European countries, they found coal and the technology to use coal. They've started with the steam engines. So these European countries and now developed countries, they have already utilized lots of energy. And now when the developing countries like India, China would like to use the energy resources, we are been getting restricted uh, with the name of carbon dioxide emissions or GHG emissions and other restrictions. So they have already utilized the energy resources and become developed country. Okay, so we'll come back to this Kyoto Protocol. So 37 industrialized countries and the European Community for reducing greenhouse gas emission. How much? So it should be 5% against 1990 levels over the 5-year period 2008 to 2012. Okay, so what was the earlier carbon dioxide? Yes, COP is held every year. There is issue with your speaker. So, are you able to hear me now? Is it okay? Actually, I'm using two screens, and when I hover to the second screen, I think my voice is not clear. Okay, so COP happens every year around December, November, December. Okay, so you will find there will be question on Kyoto Protocol or UNFCCC or IPCC, so or COP, or it will be a question like what is the international measures that is being taken for GHG reduction? Not GHG reduction, what is happening as far as the climate change is concerned internationally? So this will be your answer. Kyoto Protocol, then COP, then IPCC, formation of this IPCC, UNFCCC, here it is mentioned, international agreements. You must have heard of SDG. Have you heard of SDG? SDG is Sustainability Development Goals. Anyone has heard of Sustainability Development Goals? SDG? I know
Yes.
you might have. Yes, 17 SDGs are there. So SDGs are also, it will have energy, environment, and many other things. So, but main SDGs are concerned with this climate change. So this climate change will be affecting the SDGs as the Sustainability Development Goals, mainly water, food, then clean air, then energy availability, and the effect of those. Here are the 6 GHGs. Okay, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, hydrofluorocarbon, perfluorocarbon, and SF6. Please remember these 6 greenhouse gases. And whatever emissions we mentioned, like we have seen tons of oil equivalent. Here the term is carbon dioxide equivalent. Okay, so effect of uh, leakage of SF6. What will be carbon dioxide equivalent? Leakage of perfluorocarbon or this nitrous oxide. What will be the effect? It will be gauged in terms of carbon dioxide equivalent. Emission targets for countries listed in Kyoto Protocol. So they've given targets to reduce these greenhouse gases equivalent, carbon dioxide equivalent. And what was the target given was this. Just take a minute to just go through. The targets are given in minus. What do you mean by that? What targets are given in plus? What do you mean by that? Anyone? I want you to tell me that why this is minus or why this is plus.
So plus, are you able to hear? Am I audible?
Sajid, I'm not
Yeah.
able to hear you. Others can hear?
Yes, yes,
Here,
it's
madam,
audible.
we can hear.
Audible.
It's audible.
Others
The
can hear you?
Uh,
developed countries may have to reduce minus.
I don't know whether this issue is with this laptop or not sure.
We are
Okay,
able
here
to.
Mr. Suresh is saying negative targets means reduce GHG. Yes, they have to reduce GHG. And plus is already they are at lower level. Okay, so they don't have, they can reach up to 1% or 8%. They are already at minus level. Can we conclude it that way? It might be so. Yes, there might be issue with my speaker. It might be. Australia is carbon positive. Yes, yes. That means Australia and Norway, they are carbon positive. Okay, that means their 1990s level was higher than their today's level. So they have already reduced, matlab they currently they already having emission lesser than that of 1990. So baseline was 1990 here. Yes, the parties. So here you will find lots of information on Kyoto Protocol and these parties is given. So who are the parties? The convention divides countries into three main groups according to their commitments. Annexure 1, Annexure 2 and non-Annex 1. So parties include industrialized countries, Annexure 1. Okay. Here those are industrialized countries and Organization for Economic Cooperation in Development, OECD. That's the countries with economics in transition. EIT parties, including Russian Federation, Baltic states, several Central and Eastern European states. So all these include mainly developed nations and economies which are in transition. Annex 2, and those consist OECD of Annexure 1 but not EIT, economics in transition. They are required to provide financial resources to enable developing countries. This is what I said. So these OECD countries will provide fund financial resources to undertake emission reduction activities under convention. Okay, so CDM was the mechanism under which the developing country taking up new projects which will reduce the carbon emission will register their project, then it will be getting scrutinized through various levels, then that project will get the funding from, so it will there was a registry, so in that registry the project get registered, then the funding country will go through various projects, they will decide where to put their investment in, and then getting this advantage for reducing their for achieving their targets of reduction. Non-annex countries or parties are mostly developing countries. India also part of non-annex one. Developing countries are recognized by the convention as being especially vulnerable to the adverse impacts of climate change, including countries with low-lying coastal regions and prone to desertification and drought. Others, such as countries that rely heavily on the income from fossil fuel production and commerce. And these are also more vulnerable. So this is what started emission trading, that is called ET. So emission trading still happens, that is carbon trading. India so far did not have its carbon trading. Okay, mandatory carbon trading. So right now we are having voluntary carbon market. That is the registries where these projects get registered are Vera standard, Gold standard, and GCC. So there you find funding. There are many others, but these are top three: Vera, Gold, and GCC. Then CDM. So CDM still exists, but now it's not under, there are no, many more projects are not getting funded and all. So, but during 2007-8 till 2013-14, CDM was in boom. Okay, many projects that got funded under CDM. And then there is something that is joint implementation. So these three new mechanisms that got developed after this Kyoto Protocol. Emission trading. So emission trading that allows countries that have emission units to spare. And the same funda goes with e-certs, energy reduction certificates. Okay, so e-certs are also traded within different industries. Now, in carbon trading, it will be carbon emission reduction (CRs) that will be traded in carbon registry. So India will be having its first carbon registry in 2026, and that is called carbon credit trading scheme, CCTS. Why this is important? Because from 2026 it will be mandatory for obligated agencies, or you can say designated consumers, to showcase their emission reduction. Earlier it was specific energy consumption reduction, SEC reduction. Now it will be emission intensity reduction. You are in transition phase now. So from next year onwards, or maybe in coming years, we will also see this energy auditors exam name might get changed, or the syllabus will also add GHG verification. But for this batch or coming 2-3 batches, they have to also learn GHG verification along with energy auditors. Okay. Then we come to CDM. Clean Development Mechanism allows countries with emission reduction under Kyoto Protocol to implement the emission reduction projects, which will be funded by those countries which are not able to take up new projects. And joint implementation allows the countries with the emission reduction under Kyoto Protocol to earn emission reduction units, ERUs, from the emission reduction or emission removal projects in another Annex 1 country. So it's CDM is non-annex and annex, and joint implementation is Annex 1 country. Matlab developed countries will work with developed countries only and will have this joint implementation. In CDM, developed countries will work with underdevelopment or developing countries and will have this projects getting funded. Okay. CDM methodology and procedure is mentioned here. So you might find a question for 5 marks. What is the CDM cycle or CDM methodology? So here they have shown how particularly the CDM is happening. Similar way, in carbon voluntary market, there are different project cycles that are there. Why I am telling you this, not from the exam point of view, but after this exam, after becoming energy auditor, in future you will come across these terms and it will be required. The early you learn is the better thing. So CDM project cycle, project is prepared. So suppose India is applying for CDM project uh, in this registry, and Europe will be funding. Okay, just remember that. Then project. So how will we just start with project preparation, project identification, then feasibility study. If the project is waste heat reduction, so if heat is getting wasted coming out of large DG sets, and that heat we want to capture by using heat exchangers or having small capacity boilers. So that is best heat reduction project. Then development of project idea note, development of project design, everything will be required. Then we will come up with submission of this project design document to the host country approval to validator. Okay, so host country is suppose Germany. So we will submit our project design document to Germany for their approval. Once it comes back, then make PDD publicly available for 30 days. So it will be publicly available. Why it is publicly available? Because see, it should not happen so that we are applying the same project to different countries. Okay, or already implemented project we are applying under this. So it will be publicly available for them to take objection, raise the objection. Then after that, it will get validated. So once the project is validated, the submission of validated project and PDD will happen in the CDM registry. Okay, possible review by CDM registry. Then project get registered. Then funding will be there, and it will be under implementation and monitoring. So the money or the funds will be not given once, it will be during the project cycle. So it's not that it says 100 crore project, you will get 100 crore and then you won't implement the project only. So you will get it in parts that requires monitoring. Yearly verification and certification will be there. So every year, how much emission reduction has happened will be given certificates. So that much certificates only can be utilized by your host country. Okay, possible review by CDM EB and registration of CDM project. Okay, once the complete project is implemented, then it will get registered. Okay, so this is CDM project cycle. What are different projects that form part? Zero emission, renewables, biomass waste, animal waste, cement, energy efficiency, small scale. CDM projects includes renewable energy, type 2, energy efficiency improvements, and other projects. Any doubt? Any doubts here? See, when this CDM has started, India has in from India there were many projects which got registered and also got funding. Earlier, renewable energy, if you'll talk about solar energy, the per unit rate was around 15 to 20 rupees per unit. Now it has reached up to, if you'll find in power exchange, the base rate it goes up to 2 rupees also for some time. But yes, to 3 rupees or 3.5. So that is the rate that has gone down. Many factors has contributed to it. One of them is also funding and large scale. So large scale adaptation also contributed to the rate reduction. This much details we will not read through. I would request you to please go through. When this book was printed, that time CDM was really in boom and was required. But right now, if the current level of implementation of CDM, we are hardly having any, um, not that volume is there for CDM. So I would request you to please go through the CDM in detail, and if you have any doubt, we can anytime we will discuss. Okay, anytime in the next class. Okay, now European Union's efforts to combat climate change. The climate, why European Union? Why we are mentioning this separately? What do you think? You can put it in chat. No, European Union is most carbon negative. Maybe now, maybe true now. They are the ones who have utilized fossil fuels like anything in past, and now they are asking the whole world to reduce their energy emission. They are way ahead in the terms of consumption and also way ahead in terms of removal or going to the renewable energy. So this is mainly this climate change and everything, these initiatives that are happening in Europe and US, developed countries, I would say. This country will be most affected due to global warming. No, all over the world will be getting affected due to global warming. Yes, yes, sir. Manufacturing shifted from Europe to other countries. That is the main reason why they wanted to reduce the energy consumption and emission. So they have shifted their manufacturing base to other countries. Morning also we have seen for energy efficiency and energy security. You can, well, countries are doing what? They are shifting their energy intensive industries in other countries. So this target what they have taken for 2020 is 20% reduction in EU greenhouse gas emission from 1990 level, raising the share of energy consumption produced from renewable energy to 20% and 20% improvement in energy efficiency. Yes, they have achieved this 2020, and many of these European countries they have maximized the renewable energy usage up to 95%. Okay, up to 95% renewable energy usage. So the emission intensity in many of the European countries is far less. Okay. Okay, the 2020 targets represent the integrated approach. So that is their, you can say NDC, nationally declared commitments. So this was their nationally declared commitments. Even India has got its own nationally declared commitments. Have you heard of this term, NDC?
No. Is
So
it
please put it in chat,
after
what are India's
COP?
NDCs, if you know. Or I would say you can Google and see what are the India's nationally declared contributions. So every those countries who are party to it have given their contributions. Yes, NDCs are determined based on SDGs, but mainly it is for energy. So it is related to energy and environment. By 2030, we will have this much solar energy. By 2035, we will have this much reduction or whatever. So India has also declared its targets and goals as far as energy is concerned. Now we come to European Emission Trading System. I think some of you might have also heard of CBAM, Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism. So when these books will be updated, Energy Auditor's book will be updated, CBAM will also form a part of it. This European Emission Trading System, what is it? So they trade emissions. So those countries which have reduced the emission, they get certificates for reduction, and that can be traded by with other industries which are not able to reduce their emission. So it is traded against money, monetary value. It will have monetary value. So that is valid for 11,000 power stations and industrial plants in 31 countries as well as airlines. Okay, so they have gone that deep implementing this EU ETS, that is emission trading system. Cap and trade. So Europe, they have taken early measures in this sector. So what is cap and trade? A cap or a limit is the set of total amount of certain greenhouse gases that can be emitted by factories, power plants or other installations in the system. Cap is reduced over time so the total emissions fall. In India, we have PAT, that is specific energy consumption to be reduced, that is perform, achieve and trade. And their industries are given target to reduce the specific energy consumption. Here what they are talking about, the same, but it is in absolute terms. So certain greenhouse gases that to be emitted from the factory. What we are talking about is specific term. They are talking about absolute terms. I may sound sometimes confusing, but I'm clear when I'm talking about absolute and specific. Specific is if our production will increase, our absolute will also increase, right? But here they have not mentioned anything of that sort. So the amount of greenhouse gases that factory can emit, you have to limit that. Within the cap, companies receive or buy emission allowances, which they can trade with one another as needed. So it is something like emission trading only. Okay. In 2020, emission from sectors covered by EU ETS will be 21% lower in 2005. By 2030, it will be 43 times lower. So what India or other developing countries are doing, we are coming up with our mechanism based on what developed countries are doing, and we are also taking measures to reduce the emission. Just a moment. So I guess we are on the last page. So sustainable development. Here it is just the, you know, one paragraph I would say, but in our coming books it will be one chapter itself. So what is sustainable development? According to this, sustainable development is meeting the needs of present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So sometimes we say that we are using our future generations' resources. So those resources we are enjoying will not be available for our future generations, like clean air, clean water. These are basic resources that may not be available, or clean and healthy air. So now after corona and like these pandemics, we are very susceptible to all these diseases. Earlier or even now in rural areas, we find the health of people is better than the health of people who are living in urban areas. So what is it? Higher the energy resources being used, higher the emissions, and higher the pollutants in the air getting contaminated, people are not getting fresh air to breathe, and um, many health related issues due to inhalation of the polluted air. We find cancer is also getting increased. The number of cancer patients are getting increased due to the pollution. Huh? There are many other reasons, but maybe due to pollution also, that is one of the contributor. So the sustainability means meeting the future needs without compromising the ability, present needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. And the more detailed definition is What is sustainable development? Means living on the earth's income rather than eroding its capital and keeping the consumption of renewable resources within the limits of their replenishment. So we should not do that. Like we have seen, India oil will remain only for 17.5 years. So suppose at this moment we are talking, it is remaining only for maybe 7.5 years. So after 7.5 years, whatever petrol vehicles, diesel vehicles, or petroleum products, everything will be dependent on the import. So we are highly susceptible to the geopolitical relationships, how we are maintaining our relationships with other countries. That will become very important, and our energy security is getting hampered. Okay, so sustainable development, it encompasses economic security and prosperity, social development and advancement, and environmental sustainability. So 10 years back, or when I gave this exam, this was probably not there. When I gave exam in 2006, sustainable development, it got introduced in 2015, and now sustainability, you will find it is a buzzword now. Sustainability. Okay, sustainable development demands that we seek way of living, working and being that enable all people of the world to lead healthy, fulfilling, economically secure lives without destroying the environment. What is happening? Ukraine and Russia war, Thailand and Cambodia war, or Iran, Iraq, US also getting into. So all this is not sustainable. Ancient time Indians, they had sustainable lifestyle. Bhutan, Nepal, they are also having, happiness index is very high in those countries, and they are having sustainable life. So that is what is sustainable or sustainability. Sustainable development is also applied to energy and environment by considering inputs such as fuels, energy resources. The more we are dependent on renewable, and that will be better than the non-renewable resources. Where they are renewable, they should be used up at a rate within which they can be renewed. Output in the production and consumption should be overstrain ecosystem or the assimilation capacity of the ecosphere. So we should be, working towards more sustainability. That is what is mentioned by sustainable development here. While India aspires to be a developed country, we should not, well, we should not, we should see that we have energy efficiency, we have best technology, our renewable energy contribution is higher as far as energy is concerned, and as far as environment is concerned, the ill effects or bad effects, whatever can be restricted should be restricted while we are trying to be a developed country. So that is all in this chapter. Now we will just see the question answers. I'm extremely sorry, I'm not able to hear anybody's voice, so you can put it in the chat window. What is the answer of this first one?
Global warming potential.
Sir, I'm not able to hear, so if you'll put it in the chat, that will be yes. The answer is D. Second one, second one is C, increasing the size of yes. Third, 3D, 3A.
Yeah.
It is 3A. 4, the main constituent of yes, CO2, 4A. Fifth, You will have to refer to the table.
C 300.
5B, 23. So I hope you have referred the table. All agree to 5B? You found the answer? So these, see what questions you see here, you will also find it in exam. So there are, these are the only questions which can be asked in MCQs. These are the numbers like global warming potential and all. They are not varying. So it's not a statistics, it's absolute number. It's a property. It's it's its property. Maybe chemical, physical. No, it's not chemical, physical property. It's global warming potential, I would say. It's an absolute number that will not change. 5C, that's a by 5C or 5B. Let me see them. GWPF, NO2. Wait. 300 around. Yes. C. It's 5C. And you've reached up to 8. What about 6? Yes, 8C is right. Ozone depletion is due to chlorofluorocarbons. 6, 6D or 6A. What is it?
Environmental issue.
It's 6D. Which of the following is not environmental issue of global significance? Yes, global warming is important, ozone depletion is important, loss of biodiversity is important. D. 7C, lowers global warming potential. What is methane's global warming potential?
C methane.
What is the absolute number?
23.
Okay, methane is 23. So I've given you the link for 23rd exam where you will find question papers and answers that we will open it now after we finish this two. Okay, and we'll see that how many questions are asked on chapter 1 and chapter 10. Okay, or other chapters too. So you will just get an idea. Some of you might have opened the question papers or may not have. Okay, the 8C is right. 9 and 10. What is ninth answer? Yes. 9, 90, 90. Which of the following statements regarding responsibility of climate change mitigation is correct? Both industrialized and developing countries share the equal responsibility as a member of international community. Both industrial and developing countries share common responsibility, but taking into account the respective capabilities towards mitigation. No, C. It should be C. It's not share. Okay, it should be D. It's not equal responsibility, it's a common responsibility. Yes, it is D. 9D. And 10. No, no, it is not equal. It should not be C. It's not equal because uh, they have already done the damage to
Getting
atmosphere,
CO2
the
from
developed countries, not the developing countries.
produce.
When they've built these power plants and when they've started, I quoted you 1880, 1890, when UK faced this issue that they were not able to see each other due to this coal emission. So they've already done damage to the atmosphere. Okay, 10 is C. The process of capturing CO2 from point sources and storing them is called carbon capture. Yes, right. So I've just opened one paper of last year. Actually, you have two sets, and every alternate you will get pink or green. So they call pink or green. Earlier it was set A, set B. So here they've mentioned green or pink. So I've downloaded. I've given you the link in the chat. Okay. So I'll just go to the yes. So this is 23rd National Certification Examination. Not last year, last to last year. So do you find something which you have just learned?
Which of the following gas has high global warming potential?
Okay. So what is the answer of this? We have already seen this, right?
But
Which of the
nitrous
following
oxide is
gas is has high global warming potential? Amongst
Mhm.
this is nitrous oxide. For that, you should know uh, the numbers. Carbon dioxide is 1, methane is 23, and nitrous oxide was 300 around. Ozone is not greenhouse gas. Sorry, ozone's global warming potential is how much? It's not a greenhouse gas. Yes. What is ozone's greenhouse gas? Sorry, global warming potential. You can search. You can search, please. So these are from other topics. And this is paper one. Okay, here, which among the following fuels has highest calorific value? So it is hydrogen, and that hydrogen is an energy carrier. That is why we are promoting hydrogen. Also, it is clean. When hydrogen is burnt, it will give hydrogen dioxide as water. Okay, what e-certs? There is something on e-certs. E-certs can not be bought. It can be bought. It can be banked. It can be sold or traded directly between DCs. Okay, e-certs cannot be traded directly between DCs. This we will see it in different chapter. Okay, something related to these two chapters, but we have seen not important CPM. See, book number one is comparatively easier to understand and to remember as well. So I would say once you once we complete the chapter in class, even if you will see it once, immediately after we complete the classes, you will remember. You will remember about book one. You'll have to concentrate more on two, three. If you are mechanical engineers, it is little tougher for electrical utilities. If you are electrical engineers, it will be little tough for you to concentrate on book two, that is thermal utilities. But then please take out some extra time for those. Yes. So tell me the answer here. They've already highlighted the answers actually. 10 units of electricity are equivalent to 8,600 kilocalories.
Okay.
Such type of questions they ask. Okay, then, but I would suggest please open the exam papers. Only the exam papers. There are both exam papers with answers and only the exam papers. So please open the exam papers and you will realize that okay, this chapter is getting so many MCQs, or what is the emphasis on that chapter. Specific heat, no. Okay, here primary energy sources. Producer gas is the gas which is formed uh, from coal. So after pyrolysis, you form this, or gasification, you form the producer gas. So though it is gas, it is processed one. So it's not coming from the nature.
Get through
Coal,
proceed.
renewable energy. So around 4 marks I've seen so far. Yes, almost around 4 marks out of 50 based on based on chapter number 10.
I agree.
And just for your interest, I'm just scrolling this short descriptive questions here. Match the following. You know, so it is for 5 marks. Match the following. It's easy. Then you have to just calculate the energy consumption. So what is it? Calculate the production factor and plant energy performance. Okay, no, it's not directly related. BFT. I hope you have opened these question papers before. Who have, you can say yes if you have opened. If you have not opened, just leave it. Yes, so here they've given one example. Metric tons of oil equivalent. So here this thing you can directly able to solve this. Because you have GCP values, you have you know the conversion. So you can convert it in terms of metric tons of oil equivalent. Okay, write the following. Name three combustible constituents of producer gas. We have not seen this yet. Give some examples of goal, objective, targets of ISO 50001. That is also in, I think, chapter 2. Yes, in your chapter 2, it will be there. Cover the guidebook. What is it? Okay. Name the factors influencing external energy benchmarking. We have not reached up to this. Demand side management. This is and renewable purchase obligation. Now this is called in 2025. Now this is called as renewable consumption obligation (RCO). Earlier it was RPO. Now it has been replaced by term RCO, and few other factors have also been changed. So these designated consumers are now supposed to reduce or use 29.9% of energy from renewable energy. That is renewable energy, renewable consumption obligation. This also you will see in other lectures. I'm just trying to show you this book, this exam paper, so that you will realize that okay, I have to concentrate on what. Write short note on the following. See, working principle of fuel cell, availability best tariff that we have seen, carbon sequestration. You should be able to write this. Okay, so these two are related ones. This is from chapter number 11. So next chapter. You will have, see this, these are very easy CPM and port charts. Very easy to draw and find out the answers. So just do some practice. Anything from chapter 1 and 10? No. Okay, that is the end. So this was it for today. If you have any query, please write it in chat. I'm not able to hear. So I'm really, I'm really feeling sorry because of this laptop issue. But certainly I'll sort this out during my next lecture. Any questions, any queries, please let me know. I've given the link. Whenever you find time, please go through the links. You will find all the question papers, not only for 23rd, many years question papers and answer sheets. Okay, so we'll end the lecture here. Thank you very much. Your next lecture will start at 2. Okay, and that will be taken by Dhanashri madam, I guess. Chalo, good day.